Hello everyone, it is nice to get connected with you. Today I will be teaching you chapter 5, that is acids, bases and salts. You use variety of substances in your daily life and many of these are edible and you eat them. And while you eat different kinds of things, you find different kinds of tastes in them. These may be salty, sweet, sour in taste, bitter in taste, or can have some mixed kind of taste. Here, according to the requirement of our chapter, we will focus on two kinds of taste. One is sour, another is bitter. All those substances which are sour in taste contain a substance called acid. For example, lemon contains citric acid and we call these as acidic in nature. So, lemon is acidic in nature. The word acid has been derived from a Latin word that is acere and it means sour. All those substances which are bitter in taste contain base. For example, baking soda contains a base called sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. And we say that baking soda, which is a white powder used in the kitchen, is basic in nature. And basic substances are also said to be alkaline in nature. Children, not only this lemon or baking soda, there is a long list of substances which are acidic or basic. One more thing I want to tell about baking soda. If you take it between your fingers and rub it, you will find it slippery. And we can say that they are soapy to touch. So we see that bases are also soapy to touch. If I ask you what is the nature of washing powder, how will you find out whether it is acidic in nature or basic in nature? Would you be tasting that? Of course not. It is not edible. And children, in that case, what we can do? There are many indicators which can help us. So now our next topic is about indicators and I will be telling you what are these different indicators, preferably called acid-base indicators, and how do they help us to detect acidic or basic nature. First of all, we will talk of natural indicators which are obtained from natural sources, mainly from the plants. See children, there are chemical indicators also, but first of all, let us talk of natural indicators only. One is litmus, another is turmeric, that is haldi, yellow in color. Another indicator is China rose indicator. China rose is a flower which is called gudhar in Hindi. And these indicators show different colors in acids and bases. Before I tell you the details of it, I want to tell about vanilla essence as an indicator. See children, suppose we take some acidic solution in a test tube. Suppose this is acidic in nature. And in another test tube, we take some basic solution. And we add vanilla extract in it. Vanilla essence is used for making ice creams, cakes, etc. And it has got a very good fragrance, very good smell. When we add it here in the acidic solution, we find that the smell of vanilla is still detected. But when we add it in a base, preferably a strong base, the smell of vanilla gets destroyed. So vanilla essence is acting as an indicator and by the help of its smell, whether that smell is detectable or not, we can find out whether the substance is acidic or basic. So these kind of indicators are many more, like clove oil is another indicator which tells about the acidic or basic nature by the help of smell. But now we will talk of these indicators in detail. They help us to know the acidic or basic nature by color change in the acids and bases. How these indicators help us? that I am telling you. First is litmus. It is a blue or purple color dye which is obtained from lichens. It is the symbiotic association of alga and fungus, and that bluish purple dye is dissolved in distilled water and we get a blue solution that is called litmus solution. It is an indicator now. And children, this litmus solution remains blue in basic solution, and if we add it in some acid, it turns red or it gives red color. But it is more convenient to prepare red litmus paper and blue litmus paper by the help of litmus solution and then use those paper strips for the detection of acids and bases. I am showing you these papers. See children, this is blue litmus paper and this is red litmus paper. And you know how these are prepared? We take blotting paper or filter paper, put it in the blue solution, litmus solution, and dry it, cut it strip, and we get the blue litmus paper. That litmus paper is put in acidic solution, it turns red, and then red litmus paper strips are also ready with us. By the help of these litmus paper strips, how it is easy to detect the acidic or basic nature, that I am going to show you now. See children, I have got these two kind of solutions. Here I have taken a little water, lemon has been squeezed in it. Here this is washing powder added in a little amount of water. So you already know that this is acidic in nature and this is basic in nature. And let us see what will happen when we will dip these different colors of litmus paper in them. If I put blue litmus paper in it, the basic solution, you see that there is no change. But if I take red litmus paper and dip in this solution, let us see what happens. See, it has turned blue. So a basic solution turns red litmus paper to blue. If I take acidic solution, in this one, red litmus paper will remain red, but if I put blue litmus paper, let us see what will happen. See, it has changed to red. So this is how litmus paper strips help us. We can see that acids change blue litmus paper to red and bases change red litmus paper to blue. Another indicator is turmeric indicator. See how I have prepared it. You take turmeric, that is haldi, in a bowl, put some water in that, make a paste of that and apply it on some thick paper and let it dry. So turmeric indicator is ready. Now let us see what happens when we put some acid on it. This is the lemon water and I am adding a little amount of lemon water on it. Let us see what happens. Well, there is no change in color, it has simply become wet. So turmeric paper remains yellow when we put some acid in it. But if we take a base, see, this is a basic solution and I am adding a little base on it. Let us see what will happen. See, the color is changing and reddish brown appearance is there. So bases give reddish brown color with turmeric indicator. I want to show you something different now. This time again I am taking lemon water. You already know that if we put it on turmeric paper, it will remain yellow. Now I am adding some lemon water on this red spot and let us see what happens. That reddish brown appearance is fading away and it is turning back to yellow. So what has happened here? Now there is no more base present here. When reddish brown color is not there, that means base is also not there. So when I put acid on it, this acid destroyed the nature of base. And children, this is called neutralization. Whenever acids and bases come in contact of each other, they cancel the effect of each other, and that is called neutralization. In our day-to-day life also, we find one experience related to turmeric indicator. See children, suppose you are eating some curry, some vegetable, and by chance it falls on your clothes. Then a yellow stain is formed on the cloth. And when we wash it with the soap or washing powder, we see that reddish brown color appears on that region. And that means the turmeric has come in contact with a base. Soap or washing powder is a base, and that is why that color appeared. Now let us talk of another indicator, that is China rose indicator. See children, China rose is also called hibiscus and gudhal in Hindi, and this is China rose. You must have seen that. And how can we prepare indicator with the help of this? We can pluck some of the petals, crush them, put them in water, preferably warm water, and let it remain like this for many hours. Even we can boil it. Then we get a colored water which has some light pink tinge in that. The color may not be exactly light pink. It can be somewhat darker also, but that light tinge is definitely there. And when we put that China rose indicator in some acid, then it will give dark pink color. Dark pink in acid. And if we put it in some basic solution, it will give some green shade or green color. It may not be a beautiful green color, but definitely there is a shade of green, and that confirms the presence of base in that solution. So this is how indicators help us to detect acidic and basic nature. Children, there are many more indicators that you can prepare, like beetroot or chukandar. Its colored water is also an indicator. Rose extract can be taken. Red cabbage, lal patta gobi, its extract can also help. Hydrangea flowers are there. So all these act as good indicators. You can try to test any kind of solution that we use in our homes for their acidic or basic nature. For example, shampoo can be taken, add some water in a little amount of shampoo and test it with the help of any indicator that you can easily prepare at home. I think the turmeric indicator would be the easiest one to prepare. You can also try for some juices, like cucumber juice you can take out and you can find out whether cucumber juice is acidic or basic. Bitter gourd, that is Karela juice, also can be tested. Other than these natural indicators, there are certain chemicals that also act as indicators for us. Here I am going to tell about two chemical indicators. One is methyl orange and another is phenolphthalein. See children, methyl orange gives red color in acid and it gives yellow color in a base or a basic solution. Another chemical indicator is phenolphthalein and it remains colorless or transparent in acid and it gives pink color in base. So these are two chemical indicators. In the science labs, when we use these chemical indicators, we also use some kind of acids and bases which are there in the lab. If you ever get a chance to visit the chemistry lab, you can see the labels written on these bottles which are kept in the lab. You will find that HCl is written on some bottle, H2SO4 is there, HNO3 is there. All these three are acids: hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. You may find the bottle of NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, or KOH, or magnesium hydroxide, which we call as milk of magnesia, maybe calcium hydroxide, which is called slaked lime, and if its dilute solution is taken, that is called lime water, and this is prepared by mixing calcium oxide in water. If you look at their formula, you'll find something common. All these three are acids and all these four are bases. See children, actual definition of acids and bases you will study in higher standards. I am giving you only a little idea here. All the acids furnish hydrogen ions. You will study about ions also later on. Hydrogen ions in the aqueous solution or in the water medium. And also the bases furnish hydroxide ions in aqueous solution or in water medium. Suppose children, we take turmeric indicator and put some dry washing powder on it. It will not show reddish brown color. Although we have added or we have put washing powder on that. And I told you that washing powder is basic in nature. We need to prepare the solution or we need some moisture so that hydroxide ions can be produced or furnished in that water medium, and only then it will show the basic nature or behave like a base. So actual definition of acids and bases lies behind this major scientific concept. Now I am giving you some examples of some specific acids and bases. Lemon contains citric acid. In fact, all citrus fruits contain citric acid. Tamarind, that is imli, contains tartaric acid. Spinach contains oxalic acid. Ant string contains formic acid. Vinegar contains acetic acid. Vitamin C is ascorbic acid. And children, tea and coffee also contain acid, and that is called tannic acid. Although coffee tastes bitter and that bitter flavor of the coffee gets extracted during its processing. Otherwise, despite its bitter taste, you must remember children, it is slightly acidic in nature. Now some examples of bases. Soap is prepared from sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Milk of magnesia, which is a part of many antacids, is magnesium hydroxide. It is contained in many antacids. Window cleaners or the glass cleaners contain ammonium hydroxide, another base, and calcium hydroxide solution is used for whitewashing. Children, when we are talking of acids, I must also tell you about acid rain. See children, in the air there are many gases. And due to pollution, more and more amount of gases get added. Here I am specifically talking about nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide, which are mainly responsible for acid rain. NO2, that is nitrogen dioxide. Then SO2, which is sulfur dioxide. And even carbon dioxide is also responsible for acid rain, but majorly it is these two gases. When they dissolve in rainwater, they form nitrous acid or nitric acid. SO2 on dissolving in water forms sulfurous acid or sulfuric acid, and CO2 forms carbonic acid. To some extent, acid is present in rainwater always, but we call it as acid rain when these pollutant gases are more in amount and more acidic content becomes the part of acid rain. And children, this acid rain is also harmful for us Like if you get wet in this acid rain, it can cause some skin problem. It can even cause some respiratory problems. Then children, if it is falling on some rivers and lakes, it affects the aquatic life, endangered the life of the living organisms living in water. And if it falls on the marble structures or metal structures, it corrodes them. Actually, there is a reaction between acid and marble and reaction between acid and metal. Now children, you must also know about those things which are neither acidic nor basic, and such substances are called neutral substances. And here I am giving you a very good example, and that is distilled water. See children, how it is prepared. Water is boiled, its vapors are collected and condensed, and on cooling these vapors change back to water drops, and these water drops in large amount form distilled water. If you put red litmus paper in distilled water, it will remain red. If you put blue litmus paper in that will also not change the color, it will remain blue. So that means distilled water is neither acidic nor basic, and we call it as neutral substance. Also children, if you add some sugar or glucose in distilled water, you get a sweet solution. That is also neutral solution. The reason is no hydrogen ions or hydroxide ions are produced in that solution. Although you know, in glucose there are so many H. See children, in glucose the formula is C6H12O6 and 12 H are there. But on dissolving in water, no hydrogen or hydroxide ions are furnished. So that means it is not showing any such behavior, and it forms neutral solution in distilled water. Also, if we take common salt, that is sodium chloride, NaCl. It is a neutral salt. I will be telling this in the next session, next part of this chapter. And this on dissolving in distilled water also forms neutral solution. So children, I hope your knowledge about acids and bases have been enriched to some extent, and I will be telling about salts and neutralization in the next session. So till then, goodbye, see you soon.